at Motor City, American value still means something. Colorado's best, Phil Long's biggest discounts of the year. 0% financing, no payments for 90 days. And I'll throw $1,000 towards your down payment. Plus, get a complimentary 2-year premium maintenance plan.
That's the Phil Long way.
We'll beat any deal by $750, and we'll prove it. Only at the original Ford store in Motor City.
Good morning, crew. It is Wednesday. It is July 22nd. Welcome to Peaks to Plains Weather. I am Matt Meister. It is good to have you here. And we're getting busy the next couple of days. So this change that you've probably been waiting for is finally here. And today into tonight, it is going to affect fewer areas than it will on Thursday. So that's a change between the 2 days. We'll talk about that coming up. I was in the Colorado Springs Utilities Demonstration Garden yesterday, learning about being water wise. If you haven't been there, it is a beautiful place. I'll show you that here coming up in just a little bit. But good morning to you. I've got my American Classic coffee in here today. I'm on the Rocky Mountain roast today. It's a medium roast. And it's so good. If I could personally recommend, if you like coffee and you haven't had American Classic coffee, get yourself some. It is so smooth, so easy drinking. Let's jump into what's happening out there this morning. Salida, it is 63 degrees. And Salida is an area where we will be paying extra attention today because there is a threat for heavy rain along and west of the Continental Divide. In particular, we've got the Willow Fire up to the north of Buena Vista outside of Leadville. We'll have to keep an eye on that as well, as that area is going to be under the gun a little bit later on today. We'll have to watch all of our burn scars and ongoing fires here the next couple of days. Pueblo at 69 degrees, and note the humidity at 61%. We've had the dew points come up compared to 24 hours ago over eastern Colorado. In fact, in Springfield, we've got a dew point of 60 already. 60 puts my ears up, and look at Montrose and Durango on the western slope, almost at 60, excuse me. We've got a lot of water to work with from the surface up to the top, and that makes storms potentially bringing heavy rain here for the next couple of days. So our humidity's higher over the eastern plains. It's higher over the mountains than it was this time yesterday, and that is a signal of some of the changes we've got here. Canyon City this morning at 66. Cascade coming down Ute Pass, it is 53 this morning. Note already that we're not seeing the sun kind of up over the hillsides there yet. We're starting to see the days get shorter already, I know, but kids, some of you are only a couple weeks away from school starting. D49 gets going here in the early part of August. Everybody else is kind of at it in the middle to late part of August, so hard to fathom that summer's going that fast, right? In Denver this morning, it is almost 70 degrees. Temperature-wise, across the area this morning, we're sitting at 70 for Trinidad, 70 for La Junta. Lots of 60s out there east of the mountains. Plenty of 50s over the high country. So that's kind of where we sit right now as we get our day underway. Here's what I want to know from you today. Are you excited about the change and finally rain on the way? It's been a little bit since some of us have seen that. I know you all know we need it, but are you excited about it? Because even though you know we need it, you might not be excited about it. Does that make sense? So I want to check in with some of you here this morning. Julie says that, you know what? You could smell the rain in the air at 5 o'clock. It's beautiful. I'm with you, Julie. I am excited for it. Jeremy says, bring on the beautiful rain. Good morning, Matt, Mary, and Rachel. Everyone here, says Patricia. So you guys are ready. Isaac is so freaking excited about the rain. Isaac, of course, is a wildland firefighter with the SoCo Wildland Emergency Management Team, or SoCo Wildland Management Team, I should say. And Tracy says some moisture would be a godsend. I know that everybody feels that way, but I do want you to know that the burn scars do bring an elevated risk of some flash flooding. And let me tell you about what I'm going to be doing here today. For those of you that are back in for the Aspen Acres fire, or those of you that are maybe going to your property if you lost it every day, we don't know some of what is going to happen up in this burn. We'll all take the water right now to help with extinguishing the fire, no doubt about that. But I am going to go in and I am going to label by hand every little creek and drainage in the Aspen Acres fire. And there are a lot of them there in the wet mountains, because when we get heavy rain over this thing, I want to be as specific as possible as I can for you about where are the areas where there may be some debris flows, mudslides, ash flows coming down the hills. So if you're in that area and you're back home, you need to pay attention the next couple of days, especially tomorrow, because you're going to have a better chance of storms. And do me a favor, tell your neighbors today, because when there is flash flood warnings for the area, I'll give you a digital shoulder tap when we are doing live coverage, and we'll give you a detail, like let you know, is your creek the one to be most concerned about, or is it the one over the ridge? And so, help your neighbors, because we've got time to cover all this stuff, and we are going to be doing that here over the days, weeks, and months ahead, and even years ahead, unfortunately. So let's jump into the short-term forecast now, and let's start talking about the flood concerns. Today, I think at least through the day into the evening, the best coverage of storms and the threat on burn scars is along and west of the Continental Divide, and then including the Willow Fire outside of Leadville. So you can see that burn in red there off to the southwest of Breckenridge. As we move into Thursday, a flash flood watch has already been issued for the Aspen Acres fire. So, of course, this is for Custer County, Fremont County, Huerfano County, Pueblo County. But specifically for areas in and around the Aspen Acres fire. So here's why we've got these changes. Now, I want you to pay attention here on this loop and notice how over the last couple of days, things have been moving from southeast to northwest. But in just the last couple of frames here, clouds are moving more north. That's because our high is finally shifting off to the southeast. And as it shifts to the southeast, the monsoon plume's coming with it. I showed you this maybe a month ago, something like that, of what the ideal setup is for Colorado for the monsoon. And it's with the high kind of off to our southeast, particularly if we can get it to stay there for a week or so. This high isn't going to do that. It'll move as we head into the weekend. But this is our spot. And so our storm chances come up accordingly. Now, it's still going to be a hot one today. And with the moisture increase, I think you're going to feel it. So above 100 over the plains, 90s from the Springs up to Denver, some upper 80s over the Palmer Divide, upper 80s for Teller County. A couple of you have said, hey, I want to see Woodland Park on your maps. Well, that's one of the reasons we have the Peaks to Plains weather app, is you can dive in there and get your forecast for more areas. But we've got you guys on the maps. Let me show you this here. Here's what we've got for today. Let me load this up. In fact, that's Thursday. Let me show you today for Teller County, because here's what I think you guys are going to have. So later on today in Teller County, I think will be, 70s for a lot of us, maybe around 80 as you start coming down the hill. So around 80 in Woodland Park, and then Cascade, you drop in elevation. But storms will become likely here in the Pikes Peak region as we hit the afternoon. So let's talk about kind of how this is going to play out. And watch between noon and 4 where the best coverage of storms is. It's over the mountain areas. There may be a storm along the Front Range. There may be a storm over the plains. So I can't rule that out, but watch what happens here between Denver and Colorado Springs and the mountains west of the two cities as we move into the evening. The storms become more widespread, and they become more capable of producing heavy rain. That's the cold front coming in. And that is going to keep some storms around as we move into the evening and the late part of the evening. And here's what I want you to know about tonight. The dew points come up behind the front into the hills. So you see the dew points that are above 60 surging westward. That's going to keep some of the storms going overnight and into early Thursday and make them capable of still producing heavy rain. So this version of Skycast here got a little bit messed up. You'll see the radar kind of pop in as we hit midnight here. But notice how some of the storms last until early Thursday. And I think Skycast is decreasing the intensity of some of the storms over the mountains a little too quick early Thursday morning. There might be a thunderstorm around early tomorrow morning, just looking at the dew points. That's something we don't always get around here. Happens a handful of days a year, but something I want you to be aware of. Now, behind the front for more areas on Thursday, we all noticed the temperatures come down. Denver were out of the 90s. The Springs were out of the 90s. 100's a lot tougher to come by, and the mountain areas drop. This is going to be our stormiest day. And as we hit the middle part of the day, storms are already starting to develop. And as we move through the afternoon, they're just increasing in coverage, and they're possible everywhere on Thursday. They're not going to move all that fast. So an easy half-inch of rain if you're under one of the heavier storms is certainly a possibility. This is why we have the flash flood watch that's already up for the Aspen Acres fire. Because with that low-level moisture surging back toward the hills and a little wave in the atmosphere aloft, this is going to be our best coverage of storms. I'm not saying everybody is going to get a storm, but if you get one, there is potential for some good rain. My buddy John in Olney Springs just texted me and he said, I'll believe it when I see it. This is one of those days I think you can take the storm coverage to the bank, my friend. And here's hoping you get one. Here's hoping you all get one at your place. These storms are going to last for a while into Thursday night and maybe early Friday morning as well. There's lots of water to use. Lots and lots of water to use. By Friday, things are changing up a little bit, and we'll talk about that in the extended forecast. Right now, I want to take you to Colorado Springs Utilities Demonstration Garden. I want to have a little chat with Catherine about being water-wise. Well, it's been a hot summer here in Colorado, coming out of a really, really dry winter. And Catherine Moravec is joining me now. And Catherine, your official title here at Colorado Springs Utilities is what?
I'm a water conservation lead.
Okay. So water conservation lead, obviously important given the conditions that we just talked about. It's part of our climate here in Colorado, especially in the lee of the Rockies. And I think people, if they move from other parts of the country, sometimes may not be aware of that. Or even if we've lived here a long time, we forget that.
Yeah, that's right. Water conservation really has to be a way of life for us here in Colorado Springs, because even though we may have a few wet years, inevitably we're going to end up with some hot, dry summers like the one we're having this year.
Right. And it doesn't mean that our yards and our homes can't be beautiful, though. We are here in your demonstration garden on Mesa, on the west of Colorado Springs, kind of up Fillmore Hill. And it is beautiful here.
Yeah, despite the hot, dry weather, there are some plants that really stand up to that much better than others. And that's what this garden showcases. It's just a living showcase of really fantastic water-wise plants.
So if we're thinking about that, maybe transitioning our yard or maybe have a new yard, what kinds of things should we be aware of and look for?
Well, we should really be thinking about smart plant selection, because not all plants that are sold in Colorado Springs are going to be the drought resilient ones. And so you want to make sure that when you're investing in your landscape, you're planting plants that are going to last a long time. So your trees, your shrubs, your grasses, all of that really should be the ones that can be watered once a week and can stand up to drought.
And how can Colorado Springs Utilities help us with understanding that before we go to the store and we're ready to buy plants?
Well, we have a fantastic suite of programs and resources that help people take what they see here in the demonstration garden and translate it into their home or business, their own yard. And so they can access our resources online or our programs and education to help define that next step.
Since you've been here, have you seen the trend change a little bit in some of the big box stores or at the local nurseries with the plants that are being offered, though?
Yeah, the plants that are available for sale are much better tailored to our community than they were in the past. And we're excited that our demonstration garden is celebrating its 35th anniversary this year, which demonstrates our commitment as a community to being leaders in water-wise landscaping.
Once we get the plants into our yard, what are some of the things we should know on a daily basis about making sure that we are using our water effectively?
Yeah, it's really important to design a water-wise landscape, but the water conservation comes from the irrigation. So how you schedule your irrigation system, scheduling that to the water-wise rules, and then how you take care of that landscape will really dictate your ultimate water use.
And so what are the best tips for being water-wise, given the timing of how the sun heats the atmosphere and whatnot here?
Yeah, it's really important to water before 10 a.m. or after 6 p.m. and then watering up to 3 days a week. Any days that you choose are fine, but really ensuring that you're watering deep and infrequently and doing a periodic sprinkler check to make sure that your coverage is even.
Right, because kids run over the sprinklers with the bikes. You might step on one of I do this in like where the little nozzle's coming off the main line for the irrigation drip. I'll step on it and then it's shooting out into a place I don't want it to be. What are any other tips that we should know here as we're kind of in the peak of summer and, the mountains have been getting more of the monsoon than we have here on the Front Range?
Yeah, I think it's really important. We're starting to hear from a lot of customers that they're seeing brown spots in their lawn. And so that's a really good time to do that sprinkler check, like you mentioned, make sure that everything's working appropriately. It seems like if you had a brown spot, you might want to fertilize that, but don't do that. Right. Hold off until the fall. And then mow high. So the highest setting on your mower will definitely help that grass grow deeper roots and then be able to access all that moisture in the soil.
Yeah, because you put it on there, you don't want to waste it. You want the yard looking as good as possible. Before we let you go, and I appreciate you so much taking time with us here at Peaks to Plains Weather, is there anything else we should know here over the next couple of months or anything coming down the pike that you'd like to share with Colorado Springs Utilities?
Well, I think that if people are looking to transition their landscape, just remember that the Conservation Center and the Demonstration Garden are fantastic free resources. We're here Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and then monthly on Saturday mornings. So we'd love to reach anybody who's interested in making that change and support them.
And come different times of the year, because the way you guys have designed it, there are different things blooming at different times. And that's kind of the concept you want to do in your yard, too. You just don't want 2 big weeks of like a color splash. You want different things coming as we move through the year.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, one of the greatest benefits of this demonstration garden is that it has beautiful fall and winter interest. Like you mentioned, you want your landscape to look good even when it's dormant, and this is a fantastic example of how that works.
Well, this is great to be able to spend some time here in the demonstration garden today. Again, it's on the west side of town on Mesa. You come up Fillmore Hill, you go past Coronado High School, you'll get right to it. And Catherine, thank you for the conversation. Thank you for the wisdom and the insight. I appreciate it. And for Peaks to Plains Weather, we are making sure that you know how to get it to grow in your yard, whether it's cold, whether it's warm, and whether it's dry. We all want to live water-wise in Colorado. All right, so I recommend being water-wise. I do that here at my home, and it is something that, I think we all need to do our part in. We all know that reservoirs are low, and there are issues with the Colorado River and all of that, so any little part you can do makes a big, big difference. You guys are funny, so Roxanne's like, I agree with what John said. I'm not holding my breath for anything soon in Penrose. I get it. David wants some moisture out on the plains. Kathleen says, I love a rainy night. My pups feel a lot differently. And Cheryl's going to do a happy rain dance. So, there you go. You should, this is our chance. I'm saying there's a chance. I think it's a good chance. I'm hoping I get some. I want to let you know here as we prep for maybe the threat of some flash flooding that this is our weather together. And you have an open opportunity, an open invitation to join us live here on Peaks to Plains Weather anytime you'd like. Particularly, though, if there is high impact weather in the area and you have something to contribute, you see something, you've experienced something, write these links down. They're web links. Put them into your phone as a contact for Peaks to Plains weather. And then if something's happening and you're in a safe place, you can use one of these links. It'll ask permission to use your camera, your microphone, and then you can join me right here on the show. It's similar to how Zoom works, but it brings you right into our production software. So it's vmix.at. Both links share that. And then /zmSjK with the S and K capitalized. The second one is 1RJSL1 with the J and S capitalized. You always have that available to you, my friends, and we love when you participate with us here at Peaks to Plains Weather. All right, we're going to do the extended forecast when we come back. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Peaks to Plains Weather, Mornings with Meister, on this Wednesday morning.
Emergencies are unpredictable, but you don't have to be unprepared. Peak Alerts sends you targeted emergency alerts in real time for evacuation orders, law enforcement activity, missing persons, and more. Choose up to 5 locations that matter to you, like home, work, and school, so you know what's going on and what to do next. It's free, easy to set up, and designed to keep you in control. Know first, act fast. That's the power of Peak Alerts.
This is John May, General Manager of Petrale Roofing, up on another customer's roof doing a free 21-point inspection. If you'd like us to take a look at your roof, give us a call today, 719-375-8773. We'd be happy to take a look and see the condition of your roof. Petrale Roofing, we're a Diamond certified TAMCO installer, which means we can offer a industry-leading 25-year workmanship warranty to give you peace of mind in the storm. Call Petrale Roofing, 719-375-8773. Schedule your free inspection today.
Love your yard with a new outdoor space from F&B Landscaping. From a new build to a new project in an existing yard, we listen and give you the yard you want within your budget. Lawns, water features, xeriscaping. We've got the artistic touch and technical know-how to bring the peak of Colorado outdoor living to your home. Reliable, trustworthy. Visit fblandscapes.com to schedule a free consultation today.
Another attorney commercial with big promises? Millions of dollars, practicing law 24 hours a day, blah, blah, blah. Let's get rid of the smoke and mirrors. None of that really matters. What does matter? Having a medical doctor as your attorney. That matters.
All right, crew, well, here we go. We are starting off on the large scale. I always do that when we're talking about our weather locally, because especially when you start looking out into the long term, the ability to be specific on a sort of street-by-street basis, it drops off. But you can see the high pressure here, the clockwise flow around that. And as I mentioned already, we're shifting the monsoon off to the east here a little bit. This wave is what's sending some slightly cooler air in. It's also going to help to shove the low-level moisture into the hills. The combination of the flow aloft, what's happening at the surface, ups our storm chances for the next couple of days. So we'll keep some of these storms around into early Thursday morning. If you miss out today or tonight, there's a better chance tomorrow. See this little kink in the flow here? That's an upper-level wave that'll be moving through, which provides a little bit more sort of large-scale lift in the atmosphere, and why it makes tomorrow a busier day as a whole than what I think we get out there today. Behind that wave that's over Missouri into Friday, we'll dry the atmosphere out a little bit. But see how we still have the high on the down here? We'll be recirculating the moisture underneath that thing, so I can't take out the chance of storms. I just think as we get into the weekend, it's more likely over and near the mountains than it will be out across the plains. So those of you east of Pueblo, in fact, I would put Pueblo in this, out across the plains, Lyman, La Junta, Lamar, Manzanola, Los Animas, Hasty, McClave, into the southeastern corner of the state, Campo, Kim, all of you guys, your best chance comes tomorrow. So keep that in mind. With time here, we do start to kind of reestablish the monsoon as we head into next week. So I think by the time we hit Monday or maybe into Tuesday, we'll get another day when we get a chance of some storms east of the mountains, even though I know this model's not showing that. The pattern suggests that. And so I do have that in my extended forecast, which, by the way, does include warmer temperatures into the weekend. As the storm chances drop, less clouds around, yeah, those numbers are going to go up here as we head into Saturday and Sunday. So we look at the extended forecast, and you can see for Colorado Springs here that we'll be back into the 90s over the weekend. So, we get a day or two in the 80s, a little bit cooler, storms less likely Friday and Saturday. Can't rule it out in the Springs. I think it just gets more likely as we head back into next week. And then, it looks like the high is not going to move a lot next week. So that's certainly some good news because we'll keep storm chances around on a daily basis over and near the mountains. Got to take the details as they come, of course, but we like to see this activity here. And I did a look yesterday into August, and it looks like we'll keep the monsoon around. Of course, it's going to ebb and flow a little bit. So you'll get drier stretches like we get in Pueblo and over the plains this weekend when we get hotter. And then when we have storms around, the temperatures tend to come down and things, get more active. Speaking of active, that's what we've got the next couple of days. For those of you that joined us late or have been popping in and out, I'll end with this morning because we do have a flood watch in effect for western Colorado today. As we move into tomorrow, we've got a flash flood watch already for the Aspen Acres burn. Download the Peaks to Plains weather app. As you head out today, tell some friends about it. We are Our Weather Together. When things are happening out there, we'll give you a digital shoulder tap. We'll let you know about what's happening. Live coverage, we'll do it whether it's 2 in the morning, whether it's 4 in the morning. Doesn't matter. When the weather's high impact, we are on it here on Peaks to Plains weather. So keep us close here the next couple of days, in particular on Thursday. Linda says we do need some rain in southeast Colorado. I know, Linda. I'm doing my best to try to get you some. Tomorrow is the chance, as I said. Tracy is crossing the fingers for some rain, and I know we all need it. And here it comes, at least a good chance here the next couple days. 6:58 coming up on 7 o'clock here. I hope you have a fantastic day. Thanks for watching Peaks to Plains Weather. Our Weather Together. This has been Mornings with Meister. It is July 22nd. I hope you have a fantastic day.
I'm Catherine.
And I'm Dewey, here with another water-wise tip.
During summer, do you know why we water up to 3 days a week?
To make the best use of me.
Exactly. It builds deeper, stronger roots and makes your lawn more resilient.
Also, use the cycle and soak method. Try shorter cycles with breaks in between to reduce runoff.
And in spring or fall, you can water 1 or 2 days per week. Be water-wise and your lawn will thrive.
Now that's water-wise. Learn more at csu.org/waterwise.